enough.
That sounds like a great weekend to me.
But when we came down here and we ate
Hello.
some shawarma for lunch on
That's
Saturday.
good. Yeah, I had that Friday. Huh.
At the Falafel Express
I
down
wasn't there. No, I was out in Liberty. No, I got back.
But my ribs were pretty good.
Phil picked me up from the airport. You know what? Richie dropped me off. Phil picked me up. First time the boys, they're in charge of
Airport pickup.
taking care of dear old dad. That was great. And then you mentioned Chillicothe. That was a picture-perfect day out in Chillicothe for the district track meet, the district championships, Class 3, state of Missouri. And it was wonderful. And I was texting you guys excitedly because Julia set a personal record in the preliminaries. And she, as a freshman...
It's the long jump.
Right, in the long jump. As a freshman, she didn't make it to the finals. She missed by one or two people. And so then Saturday, she advanced to the district finals. And that was awesome.
When is that going to be?
Well, that same day.
Oh, okay.
And so then she in the finals, she set another PR in the long jump. But there's really good girls, upperclassmen ahead of her, and boom, she did great, and she ran the 100, and she did well there, and then we were out.
So does that mean it's over?
Yeah,
The districts are over
yeah.
now?
Now you have to the top 4 in the event advance to the sectionals.
And then state
in
after
Archie,
that.
Missouri, and then state after that. And so, but she made great progress and set her PR 3 weeks in a row, which was awesome. And she had fun. We had fun.
I keep grinding this summer.
We had a good. We're taking this summer off. We've been we did jump lessons and worked with a jump coach last summer, and we're not going to do anything this summer. But she's going to run indoor track. She's going to run the 60 and going to do indoor track in the fall. So we're working some things out. But man, the weather was great. We went to a nice restaurant in Chillicothe. We had a very nice time in Chillicothe.
I think I stopped in Chillicothe
Very enjoyable.
once. But we drive right on that when my daughter was at Truman State.
They have a beautiful they have a beautiful downtown.
Yeah.
We talked about going back up. There's a water park, and there were some things we wanted to do that, there's a nice farmer's market, and we might go back up there for
day trip.
A weekend or something. The food was good, so we had and the track was immaculate. Everything was great about sad it was the last one, but we really had a great Saturday up there, and then it got hectic because I had it was Mother's Day, and part of the Mother's Day package, as demanded by Selena and Susan St. John, I dropped them off at Katy Perry on Saturday night, and let me tell you something, downtown, you did not want to be driving through there. If you want to
Katy Perry was here?
If you want to combine traffic and lots of moms and daughters dressed sparkly attacking the streets.
That was it.
I was shocked. And I guess they opened the doors late at T-Mobile. And they even sent something out on social media. There's like 500 people lined up. And at one point I said, "Well, girls, dropping you off. Enjoy yourself.
Bye."
Me and Julia are gonna go.
Why was it
thrifting.
just late?
I don't know. Maybe
Bye,
Katy Perry.
bye.
Who knows? And picking up was difficult. And then we did that. Took Selena home. Then we ran out here at Overland Park at Revel to see Richie play his last set with Dolowite. And Sunday,
Where was that?
Over here off 119 in Metcalf.
So you didn't have any
next door to
you didn't have
Guitars
trouble with
Gateway.
the roads. Well, you came down 69. What'd you do?
And then great Mother's Day brunch. Went to Blue Moose yesterday. That was awesome. We had a fantastic weekend. And they took me to see Minecraft. So
Did the people throw the popcorn?
no,
that over?
There's only a smattering of people in there.
Yeah.
Like if I would have done that, they clearly would have thrown me out.
Who it was.
I think it would have been just me throwing, chicken jockey, and then throwing stuff.
I heard
up in the air.
there was a real Friday night. The Royals had a really big crowd, biggest one they'd had since opening.
And they
day, I
won.
think.
It was nurses' night.
Yeah, it was nurses' night, and I had talked to some people. One
They
of my
deserve
friends
a
was out
big
there.
crowd.
They just
Packed.
finally gave up. They didn't even go in. It was like the 5th inning, and they couldn't get in. They were. I don't know if there
Well,
was
that's not
issues
good.
in the
Why did they
with
give
the
up?
scanners or whatever. There's a huge line, and the games go so fast now. When the Royals don't get hits and they don't allow hits, like 4th inning, they're still 500,000 people deep in the line. I think they got in line a little bit late myself personally.
I stayed in the parking lot and watched the fireworks.
Well,
You're criticizing them?
yes.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, they played 12 innings.
Yeah, you could have gotten the whole game in.
Right. Get in there in the fifth.
They just went elsewhere. But
That's odd.
But that's what sometimes you're maybe not ready for the big crowd like that. There was a nice crowd out there Saturday. We went out there. We got in plenty of time. Well, plenty of time. We sit down at our seats. The anthem was going, but we're a little more
That's good timing, though.
slick at getting in and out. Know how to do it. But it was a beautiful night for baseball. Just not
It's a beautiful weather weekend.
the offense dried up this weekend. Need those White Sox back around.
The Red Sox aren't as fun.
No. And I'll tell you what, this Rafael Devers, big baby he is or whatever, I didn't have any fun with him this weekend.
Hit a bomb yesterday.
Oh, man, it's Saturday. They just, like 0-2, single, double, whatever. They could not get him out. Reagans couldn't get him out. And then he hit the homer yesterday.
I guess you see why the Red Sox put up with him.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure, complain, cry. You don't want to play third. You want to play this. You want to be a big baby about everything.
They
whatever.
just switched his position, and how can you expect me to switch again?
He doesn't
Yeah.
want to play first, and I saw somebody post, can someone tell him that playing first is easy? It's not like that won't be real taxing on you mentally.
But he had just switched to DH,
Yeah, well,
Steven.
That's great.
How could he change?
That's great.
But he can hit. He's at least he can hit this weekend. That wasn't good, and the Royals just couldn't get anything going. Bobby had a couple rough nights there Saturday and Sunday, but they all did. They scored 3 runs or 4 runs. 4 runs in 3 games plus 3 runs in 3 games of regulation. They scrapped one out in the extra innings on Friday.
Listen here, we can have I think a level-headed perspective here about this. Over the last several weeks, the Royals have been good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But, as you always like to qualify everything, some of that success came against the White Sox. And so you have to take that into consideration.
But you get to play him.
And then you see him butt heads with the Red Sox, and what jumps out at you? Man, they still can't score runs consistently. They can't score runs because at the end of the day, when hopefully they get to where we want them to go, and that's the postseason, the White Sox won't be waiting for them. No. Although that would be odd.
That would be amazing.
If somehow the White Sox were waiting for them in the postseason. The Rockies, who had great success against,
They won't be there.
they have fired Bud Black.
And then they won yesterday.
Well, they lost 21-0.
But they won
and
yesterday.
Then they fired him.
It's all fixed.
They lost a football game, and then they fired him. Point is, they have an excellent record against historically god-awful teams. Now, you got to play them, you got to beat them. You have to beat them. And you have to take advantage of when those games are on the schedule. But we still need to pay attention to how they play against teams that they could possibly match up against when they, and hopefully they will, eventually advance to the postseason. But we are not going to stop talking about the offense's lack of production, because in order for this team to be a finished product, or at least a finished product this year, they must improve the offense if they are to advance further than they did in the postseason last year. If they are to achieve more, if they're going to win the division, let's just start there. The first goal of this team is to win the division. If you don't win that, you hope you've won enough games to be a wild card. But you can win this division, although I'm telling you, Detroit's just terrific. Mm-hmm. Detroit's terrific. And when the guy that told you that was the team at the beginning of the year, you should have listened to him.
That was
because you turned your nose up at him.
It was Scott Carroll.
And at the commercial break, you called him a moron.
Was that Scott Carroll? Was that you?
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen St. John.
And I don't like it because because I'll be honest with you, they're better than I even thought they were.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think they'll go out and like some things are not making sense though. Like I don't understand how Javier Baez became good again, just in the snap of a finger. Look at what he did like the last 2 years. They were calling that one of the worst contracts in baseball
Ever.
Like they couldn't even hide him. Like, well, we got to play him. But man, does he suck! But we're gonna play him. And so this year, what do? Oh, the opposite of what your boy was complaining about, right? Hey, Baez, you ever play center field? Well, you are now.
This just in.
You're defensively. You're gonna do what we tell you because we're gonna try to squeeze some value out of you for the money we're paying you. And then all of a sudden, he's hitting over 300, driving in runs, and had homers in 3 straight games like a week ago, and is playing all over the diamond and playing well. He's not the superstar that they felt they got with that free agent contract, but he guess what? He went into the season knowing, probably in his heart, man, I suck. And the Tigers said, hey, we're going to have you do some different things because we need you to do this and that. And he could. We've seen this. He could have stopped his feet like, no, I'm not playing center field. I'm a shortstop. I'm an infielder. But I've seen a couple. I mean, I'm sure it hasn't been smooth sailing all the way around, but I've seen a couple of nice plays he's made out there, and he's hitting well. And so, like, stuff like that, I don't know if that's going to happen all season long, but, like, the Tigers don't need that because they're already really good.
Yeah.
And Terry Skubal's putting up stupid numbers, and so they're a very, very good team. And so the Royals must fix what ails them overall. They're in a good spot right now. They went through a bad stretch when they went 2-8 on a road trip. Now they got red hot, and now they lost a series to the Red Sox. But the dust has settled in the first part of the season here, and they're in a good spot, and they're competing for a playoff spot. Now, when we look at it and we analyze it, what's wrong? Is the starting rotation okay? You're damn right it is. Real good. Is the bullpen all right? Yeah. They got a lot of nice pieces there. Okay? And so you feel good about the pitching, but what's lacking? They're still missing a bat.
Or
if you want to be technical about it, they're missing 2.
Yeah.
They could, but that's not realistic. I don't think they're going to go get 2 bats. Let's get 1. Now, if you want to dream about it, they could add 2 bats by calling up Jack Caglione and trading for somebody.
Acquiring somebody.
And is that too drastic? No. Do you feel comfortable saying, hey, this team could use an upgrade offensively in 2 spots? Yes.
Absolutely.
You're right. Okay? And it's time for the people that are dragging their feet about Jack Caglione to stop it. Stop this. Well, you don't want to hurt. He's a 22-year-old man, and he played college baseball. We're not talking about an 18-year-old phenom out of high school that's too raw and too inexperienced and just mentally won't be able to handle what the spotlight. This kid is the spotlight.
It's time, young man. It's time to take your diapers off and go to work.
I'm telling you, he's different. I told you that in spring training. I tried to tell everyone, accelerate your timetable. He ain't going to be down in the minors long. And we're going to have a conversation real soon as to whether or not it's time to come up here. And you know how I feel, but I'm not going to force it. I get it. They want him to go to AAA. But I'm going to tell you, people all around baseball, other organizations are all, that kid's ready.
Mm-hmm.
That kid's ready. And if you're wondering, so how he over the weekend, he went 1 for 4 with a homer, 3 ribbies, 1 for 4 the ribby, 1 for 4 the ribby. You know, so even when he's not hitting highlight reel moon shots, he's being consistent. His slash line now is .313 with a .381 on base and a .570 slug. Brother, he's played 33 games at AA, and he has 38 ribbies. Do you hear what I say? He's played 33 games, and he has 38 ribbies. Do you know that's good?
That's good.
When you're averaging over a ribby a game?
That would be excellent.
Okay. All right. We're in agreement there. And so let's go to Omaha. Let's go to Nebraska. Check it out. All right? It's beautiful this time of year.
Maybe today's the day for that.
That's fine. And guess what? The day for him to come to Kansas City is going to be coming real soon, because if you are having so much trouble scoring runs, you just, it'd be malpractice. You can't sit there and let a guy do what he's doing at that level. And people in baseball universally say that he's ready. You can't just let him sit here and do that when you're not scoring any runs.
Yeah.
Now, if this team was popping off 5.5 runs a game, like, you know what? It looks like he's getting close, but we're good. We can't stop scoring runs. We don't need them.
Yeah, the Royals' pitching's been outstanding. I mean, it's great.
Sure it has.
They're like 16-1 when they score 4 runs. But the bad part is they've only scored 4 runs that many times. I just looked through the Tigers. The Tigers' pitching is great as well, okay? They've scored 4 runs like 28 times, not 17 times. Can you imagine if the Royals were scoring 5 or 6 runs?
I'd like to imagine it.
Then they would be.
I'd like to see it.
If they were doing that, they would be probably 4 games in front of Detroit. But they're not. So they got to find a way to score those runs. And what has happened?
I'm giving you one way.
Like this last week is a great example. If you just took Sunday to Sunday, they played 8 games, right? Because they played on Monday, and the runs per game was pretty good, but they scored 11 in one and they scored 10 in the other, and the others was just nothing. It'd be nice if they would just score 4 runs.
And they have 2 things where they can trade, 2 wells they can dip into.
Pitching.
All right? They have pitching, and you know what else they have? They have catching. And I'm not just talking about the major league level. I'm talking about prospects. They have catching depth. Okay? And teams will always trade for pitching, and there are teams out there that are starving for catching at the major league level or in the minor league level. You can trade a quality catching prospect along with an arm or 2, and you can get yourself a nice upgrade in the corner outfield. And this is what they got to do. This is what they got to do, because I get tired of hearing people talk about, well, what's going to be good in 26, 27, 20. I don't care right now, because the window is open now. And there's no guarantee they can keep this rotation healthy for the next couple of years. There's no guarantee what's going to happen as far as the strength of this pitching staff, because injuries are crazy, right? Seth Lugo, how much longer is he going to be like this? Michael Walker, they got some veteran guys. They have one of the best rotations in baseball right now. You don't waste that. Don't waste it.
It's not going to stay.
Okay? Be aggressive. Get after it. You have an opportunity to do something special because of your pitching, because you have a superstar, and you've got some decent pieces around him. You got to go get him more help offensively. And I'm saying that not because they just lost 2 out of 3. I'm saying that because this is a team good enough to do damage in the postseason. With this pitching staff, that pitching's good enough to get to the World Series. The offense isn't. And you have plenty of time to fix that. And you have options. You have ways to fix that. And I think they will. I think they know that. And I'm excited to find out how they do it. But they got to do it. It's got to happen. All I'm telling you is, my final point is it's past. You can't just sit on your hands anymore. Like, well, let's see if these guys collectively take a step forward. And it happens with what we've got. MJ Melendez showed you, nope, that's not happening. Michael Massey showing you, you know what, it's not happening. There's too many guys that are showing you, nope, we need more. Now go get more. Let's go. Let's have a summer of love. This summer, let's make love, not war. Let's make the playoffs.
I'm not sitting there sitting on my thumbs,
No sitting on the thumbs. Let's go. Let's make this happen. Windows closed in a hurry. If you don't do anything, windows closed in a hurry. Go to Baltimore and ask the Orioles. They're like, wait, we was just open. Wait a minute, what happened? That window looks like someone came in there and slammed it shut, shattered it.
Doesn't look good.
Boarded up, set on fire, everything. We'll take a break. Let's go. Come on. It's Monday. It could be fun day. That's up to you. Back into this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
almost 30 years. Crazy.
So here's something fun for the people out there that enjoy following prospects in the major leagues of baseball. By the way, I told a great story in the commercial break.
You did.
Of something
Repeat
I did.
It.
I can't. But did you guys enjoy it?
I did.
I spoke with emotion, did I not?
You did.
MLB Pipeline, MLB.com announced their new top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball yesterday. And Cags made a huge jump up to number 10, the number 10 overall prospect. And so, as they write, the 2024 draft is well represented in the top 15, led by Jack Caglione, the highest ranked among them, as, let's see, he has brought his Stantonian power to Double-A Northwest Arkansas, and while his chase rate remains on the high side, it's not as concerning as it was at Florida. He's also sprinkled in some outfield work as Kansas City considers a spot for him in the bigs soon. Thank you.
I'm looking at this list.
Thank you.
And he's 10th, right? And the people in front of him, so there's 9 people in front of him, only 3 of them are 22 years old. The others even younger than that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what we're talking about. This isn't a teenager.
There are already players in his class that have been promoted to the majors.
Right.
Okay. It's we need to get past that conversation.
We were just talking about Rafael Devers. He was in his 3rd major league season when he was 22 years old. I appreciate how they want to get at least one more year out of this thing. I got it. And I'm not telling them they need to bring him up now, but I think he will be in AAA sooner rather than later.
Jim Bowden?
I think they call him Bowden.
Bowden? Jim Bowden, GM, MLB analyst and insider for CBS Sports and The Athletic, and MLB GM for 16 years and former executive of the year. It's quite a bio on X. He posted yesterday, Jack Caglione, Royals' top prospect, is slashing an impressive 325, 400, 600 with 9 homers and 35 ribbies in the Texas League, and he looks major league ready according to multiple opposing scouts, for what it's worth. What's it worth?
2 cents. That's his 2 cents.
Now, he said multiple opposing scouts say that he looks major league ready.
And I know people get mad at us
That's
talking
not a
about
Royals.
this.
Well, I'm not.
But
Why?
we're talking about this because the Royals just scored 4 runs in 3 games against a team who they're competing with at that level.
People get mad about talking about how the ball club can improve and make a run at the World
Oh,
Series.
people are like, blah, 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 Not a lot.
Did someone just do that to you right
no,
now?
nobody did it to me.
Don't
but
worry about what people say. Speak your mind.
This is, they looks like they
Speak your mind,
nailed
buddy.
a draft pick. It looks like what they did.
We're not telling you he looks like the next big thing, literally and figuratively. Okay? It's not this a former major league GM who still works in the industry is just telling you opposing scouts say he's ready for the I'm not telling you that, you know, Timmy Blogman, who covers the Royals, is. What are you laughing for? Jake tried to book him a couple of times.
Why don't you leave Tim alone?
Timmy Blogman is saying, the Royals
Timmy
are
works
ready,
hard.
I'm talking about, you know what I mean? I'm talking about a guy that's...
Yes.
And guess what? Timmy Blogman says that Keg should come up too, and he's right.
They all agree.
And Timmy Blogman could be right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
What are you laughing about what I say?
Timmy Blogman.
I couldn't think of any. I don't want to say anyone's name. I'm trying
I
to...
like Timmy Blogman.
You should.
Still working on him. Get him on the show.
Yeah.
Timmy has some hot takes.
That's all. It's not just... I want them to trade for someone too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just want them to score more runs. This pitching staff is outstanding.
Yes.
And they have some great parts of their offense. Some stuff's really good, but they just need more. They have won 9 games this year where they scored 3 runs or less. That's incredible.
It would be a baseball crime if you waste this pitching staff. It would be a crime against baseball. Right?
Not good.
No, it is good.
No, I mean not good
Oh.
if you wasted it.
But, I mean, it's good that they have this opportunity. This is all good. This is not negative. This is positive. If we watch this team and I say, you know what? They're not going anywhere anyway. So I'm not really concerned about whether or not they acquire a bat or two. No. That's not where I'm at. I watch this team. I'm thinking, damn, this pitching staff is good enough to win the American League. Don't waste that. You look. I felt like in 2015 there were clear needs. You looked at that team, like, man, if they could add a frontline starting pitcher and add one more offensive weapon, I think they could win the World Series. And ownership looked at it, and Dayton Moore looked at it, and thought the same thing. And they got Johnny Cueto and Ben Zobrist. Can you sit here and comfortably tell me that they win the championship without Johnny Cueto and Ben Zobrist?
No.
No, you can't say that.
No way.
No.
Get lost.
No, you can't say that. Did they have a good team without him? Yeah.
Yeah, great team.
They made it to the World Series without those two players.
Right.
But they knew that window, and were they concerned about, well, how is this deal gonna affect 2017?
Because they had a big core of their players
But
under control for
I
3 more
don't
years.
care.
But you have to take advantage when you can.
Because not everything lines up for you every year like this.
How many more runs have
And-
the
and-
Royals
and-
scored than the White Sox
And then,
this year?
and guess what? And people could say, well, look how it turned out, and they didn't do anything in 16, 17.
Who cares?
They won a championship. Would I trade 3 or 4 years for a championship? Yes, I would.
Trade 30 for a
Let's go to
championship.
the World Series, and let's find out what it feels like again.
How many more runs have the Royals scored than the White Sox?
I don't know, not many.
4.
Okay.
And they've won
What are
12 more
What are you
games.
running this into the ground now? First, you love the White Sox. Now you can't
No,
stand
I'm
it.
just telling you, the
I
Royals,
can't figure you out.
Royals offense is as bad as the White Sox offense, and they're 12 games better.
Yeah.
Demonstrates how amazing their pitching is. And how they've been really good in one score games. I think they're like 8-2 in 1-run games. I mean, they've done a nice job with a lot of those things, but it would be really nice to have some 6-2s out there. You know what I mean? They don't get many of those.
Jake says this pitching is amazeballs.
It's amaze balls.
When can I change the subject?
Right now. Go.
I like to bring things up about this sport because I feel we're to the point now where you get mad about everything and you poo-poo and complain about it because nothing
I'm
will
an old man?
satisfy you in this one certain sport.
Okay.
You've turned very cynical.
Me?
And it's not. Let me look at me. Look, some people have said about you, and I
Nobody
defend
said.
you. Oh no! People have said this. Some people have said that you're cynical about this sport because you're not tasting the same fruits from the trees of victory.
Okay.
And I say that's not true. I say that you love this sport, and you get mad because you think the sport is being damaged, and it has nothing to do with your team not giving you the same success that you've tasted in the past.
What sport is
College
this?
football.
I love college football.
I know you love college football.
I love it.
But you complain about things and you say this can't last and you get mad.
No, it is,
you get riled up.
It's a mess right now.
Right. So let me ask you this. What about this report? Potential 16-team college football playoff gaining support in Big Ten and SEC. According to Yahoo Sports' Ross Dellinger? The potential 16-team college football playoff bracket has growing Big Ten and SEC support after an in-person meeting. Because meetings, you could Zoom all you want.
Let's get face to face.
You get in person, then it's serious.
With,
all right?
Greg Sankey.
I'm sure there's many a man out there that will Zoom or pay to video chat a woman, and it's just not real until you meet her face to face, or I don't know.
Not the same.
Is that right?
I think it is.
You know anyone?
No, I don't.
Get the credit card out, And like, hey, I have a girl I'm seeing. Where are you seeing her at? OnlyFans? Like, well, that
Not the
doesn't
same.
quite count. You're not really seeing her. Other people are seeing her too. You know what I'm saying?
Happy
now
Mother's
you say,
Day.
Where you seeing her at? I'm meeting her in Westport. Like, okay, that's right, it's real.
That's a real.
We got something going on.
You hope it's real.
Yeah, but if
never
you say
know.
like, no, I'm meeting her virtually tonight.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
no, it's not real.
So this is a face-to-face
Face-to-face meeting.
This ain't some OnlyFans thing.
Right.
This is a meet and
This is
greet.
real.
This is a tender hookup.
Right. That's exactly right. And so because they met in New York last week.
Oh,
That's, that's where you meet.
A clandestine meeting.
So here is what we're looking at. First of all, 16. What do you think about that number?
Fine. I mean,
Well,
I
what
think
do
they're
you
going to
want?
get too far.
But what do you want?
No, 16's great.
16's fine.
That's what they
No
do.
buys.
That's what they do in the
But when you
one
say
double A,
it's
whatever
fine,
they
it
call
doesn't
that.
sound like you think you
16's great.
What is your perfect numbers on that?
16's perfect.
Well, I don't know what the perfect number is
No, for
anymore
you.
because they've ruined the conferences.
Dude,
so.
come on.
See, what did I
yes,
tell you?
I know. Answer his question.
If I said
Todd Lebo,
you
you're
can
in
have-
charge.
You can
Sure.
have the number
16. No double buys. Screw all that. You got to just play them.
well, that's what,
Because
if you had
what
16,
they will do, I promise you, this will be some boogered up thing.
What?
16, 1 through 16, every seed plays.
Yeah, this is what it would be.
I like that, but that's not what they'll
What,
do.
what- he asked you what you
What
want.
do you want?
What do you want, Todd?
16's fine.
You
That's
listen to
good.
what it
And
is.
everybody
1 through
plays.
16.
Round 1. Everybody plays.
Let's all play.
And you don't give 8 of the spots out to the little
Well,
that. Here we go.
listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you. There is growing
Booger it
support
up.
for a 16-team bracket. It will be 4 SEC,
Guaranteed.
yes,
See.
4 Big Ten, 2 ACC, 2 Big 12, 1 Group of 6, and 3 at large. With season-ending interleague play-in games, 3rd place versus 6th place, 5th place versus 4th place. You see what I'm saying? So like
So to play into the 3 at large?
it's a season-ending interleague play-in games, like to represent,
Right.
to be one of the 4
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
out of the SEC.
A little bit like the
Gotcha.
NBA does here.
They'd have the 4th place team versus the 5th place team to be one of those playoffs. So that's kind of awesome,
Yeah, that's
right?
great.
Right?
Meaningful football.
Yeah.
That would be
Everything
fun.
on the line.
So like that would all like you said, like a play-in.
Yeah. It's
A
like,
little
it sounds
added.
like the NBA.
I'll
And
take that.
hockey does that too.
It would begin in 2026. That's when the current agreement with ESPN ends. Although an extension will also kick in at the end of the deal. And so they say 16 is the preferred number. That's all. I mean, that sounds good to me.
It will. Listen, I don't care if it's confusing because I just want to see good football games. But that will be a confusing thing for people to understand exactly how it works.
Will it be confusing for you?
Brett Yormark
Probably
expressed
in some way, but-
back in March. Brett Yormark, Big 12 commissioner, expressed support.
They just want to get
But he
guaranteed
said when
too.
it comes to automatic qualifiers, he warned of a potential artificial championship. He said, I like the 12-team format. I love it. But whether we go to 14 or expand the field, I don't know. And obviously, it'll be a decision amongst the management committee. He says, I don't want an artificial championship. I want people to earn their way in. I don't want it to be predetermined. It sounds like you'd still have your chance to earn your way in, but
Yeah, I mean, listen, I could see the ACC and the Big 12 saying, well, wait a second, why do you get 4? We only get 2. But
because you're not very good.
well, and the other ones are controlling everything right now. They're bigger leagues with, the ears of the networks better, more eyeballs on their games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if it'd probably be fair or more fair if it was instead of
But I honestly would like
4,
to see
4, 2, and 2, just make 3, 3, 3, 3. But
they won't do that.
no,
What the SEC needs to do is buck up and play 9 league games. They need
and this
to
is
quit.
part of it too.
They need to quit with the Citadel in Maine and fill in the blank.
Missouri's playing Kansas.
Hey, leave Maine out of this.
That was Oklahoma's entree into the SEC.
What's wrong with
Bring
Missouri?
Maine in
What's
November.
wrong with Missouri against Kansas?
That's not the problem game.
Missouri,
for Missouri
beat K-State a couple years ago. What's
what
wrong
are,
with
what
that?
are
They're
Missouri's
playing?
other 3 games?
I don't care. Okay, so is every game really hard for every team in the nation? There's no cupcakes. There's no.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Get a bigger cupcake or a smaller cupcake.
Who's Oklahoma playing in the non-con this year?
Well, they got Michigan for one of them, and then they'll have
That's
their
a good
little
one.
big baby somewhere.
See, do you not like
Missouri's got UMass coming in.
that? Okay.
Who's their November bad one? November's the bad one.
Right.
It's the one I never like. Looks like they got it all theirs early. Missouri did good early.
See?
Central Arkansas, Missouri.
Yeah. Get yourself a win. Figure some things out. All right. Is that the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and then week 2's the showdown against Kansas.
Yeah, it's the November ones, the ones that are always the silly ones. Oklahoma's got a real road game this year. They're going to Temple. Come on.
College football's awesome.
They got Kent State coming in.
I'm as fired up about college football as I've ever been.
I love college football, and I don't think they've ruined it, but they have made it messier.
You
and
got me
silly.
over here ready for the Bo Pribula era. Did you see the video that Mizzou
excited
football
for Bo.
post put him of sprinting with his shirt off? This guy
He must be the best.
is ripped.
We only have a couple minutes. here,
Running
man.
like
So
the
I have a
wind.
question. Did you see
I'm
the?
talking about Bo Pribula.
Did you see the?
And I'm listening to you complain about college football playoffs.
See?
Remember one day? I mean,
that?
No, I'm not.
10 years
I'm
ago.
not complaining
That's
about the
what
playoffs.
that's
10 years
exactly
ago,
what- thank you.
I'm not complaining about the playoff. I'm not complaining.
I mean,
eight was
we
good.
begged for this
12,
for how
16,
long?
4.
We begged for this.
He-
I like
he-
all of
he
it.
Jake was on his hands and knees begging
Begging.
for it.
I like it.
Begging
He's
for
like,
it.
please give it to me.
Did you see the deal over the weekend where the kid from Miami killed 3 people in a car accident?
Here we go.
What?
No,
what are you?
no.
What are you
It's
doing?
this kid, this linebacker, Adarius Hayes.
I don't. What,
Mays.
what are you? Why are
But
you doing this?
Turn this into a
No,
really
here's a real question.
Good
I don't know.
God.
He's driving a Dodge Durango SRT. This is like a $90,000 to $100,000 car with horsepower out the wazoo.
Yeah.
It's a 20-year-old kid.
got
We've
a
been
Hemi
talking
in it.
about this, all this stuff, and I've been trying to research if this was an NIL card. You know what? So there's going to be. Listen, a dude is trying to sue. This is going to get thrown out. A guy is trying to sue the National Football League because they ruined his draft experience because Shedeur Sanders fell.
What does that have to do with 16 teams?
No,
in the
I'm just talking
playoffs?
about the state of college
football.
Is someone going to sue a collective because some 20-year-old kid killed 3 people in a car at some point? They've opened up a wild
Well, sure they have.
can of worms
We-
here.
we don't know how
that's-
this is gonna play
it's now
out.
tragic in
Well,
many ways.
I mean, that's
but-
not just college football. That's just society as a whole. I mean, we sue everybody about everything.
Well, we do, but this is interesting. I'll want to watch this one go because we saw all this stuff. You know, Georgia, everyone's got all these guys speeding around, all that, and this is This is like 1:45 in the afternoon, and a 78-year-old woman and 2, like a 4-year-old and a 10-year-old are dead in this car accident.
Well, I
This
mean,
guy's driving around this car.
you went in a weird direction, but look, that's it's
I don't
not
think-
too.
I don't
It's
think
not,
it's NIL's.
it's not too
fault.
far from home because that could have been Rashee Rice's story.
Absolutely.
It absolutely could have been his
He's
story.
a professional football player
Yes.
buying cars, but this is different if someone is. I don't know if the
So
car was.
you need to stop that because this guy who killed, he's a professional football player.
Well, not officially yet.
No, okay, whatever. He's being paid
Yes.
money to play football.
Exactly.
He's a professional football player.
But he's not an employee of
He's
a,
not
of a
in the
team or
NFL.
all that
He's not in the
stuff, but
NFL.
It's like wild, man.
College football players are now professional.
They are in our minds.
No,
They aren't, but they aren't.
They
aren't to
are
the
in
university,
reality.
But they aren't to the university.
That doesn't matter. They
Well,
are.
it
They are in
does.
society.
They're
They
not
are in society.
They're not employees. Da 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 da.
Well,
but,
they do W-9s. They're contractors.
well,
I mean,
they hope they do the W-9s.
well, I don't
they
know,
may
but
not.
what I'm saying is they are professional because they're being contracted out.
Yeah, it's this is ugly story. Bad.
So who's being? So there's somebody suing.
No one's suing him. This just happened Saturday.
Well, I mean, there'll
I mean,
probably
there's-
be a civil lawsuit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, why wouldn't there be?
Well, I think there probably will.
Right,
But,
but
forget about
even
the
if he
civil
wasn't
part.
a college football player, there would be a civil lawsuit in
But-
this situation.
The question is, like, if someone just gets in a car crash and this is your car or whatever, it's different. If someone, I don't know the full thing here, but if you have been given a car to
So,
use
like a
because
car
you know what I
dealership?
mean?
How many?
I don't know.
Decades have car dealerships been giving cars to college football stars?
Well,
How often did that happen in Norman, Oklahoma?
never officially.
Yeah, but it did. So if that kid got in a wreck, I mean, what?
I don't remember anyone killing 3 people in one of these cars.
I'm gonna.
I'm going to be an old man right here. I don't think
There's a Georgia football player that gets in a wreck every offseason.
and it's a mess. And it's honestly, listen, I grew up here I had 2 kids. You know what they didn't have? They didn't have cars with 500 or 600 horsepower in them because it's dangerous. They don't know how to drive yet, all that kind of stuff. And I think, I'm going to sound like a really dumb old man here. I don't think these 20-year-old kids know how to drive well enough to be running around with these cars.
Well, it's a real issue even here in town.
Yes.
I mean,
all over the place.
Downtown.
Yes.
on
I'm
Friday
saying
or
it's a
Saturday
real
night.
issue. Not, I mean,
I don't think that, but I don't think this
over in
is because of
Lenexa.
NIL. I mean,
there's racing cars over in Lenexa. I mean, it's. I think it's
a mess.
it is absolutely a mess.
And I kept seeing these stories, so-and-so injured in car crash that kills 2. Now, how about the headline is, there's dead people, but whatever.
I was just trying to talk about Bo Pribula.
Take your shirt off.
What a bizarre.
That's a Lebo pivot if there ever was
twist.
one.
I just think
a bizarre
I'm
twist
saying this
to the
is-
question of, do you like 16 teams
Lebo
I
pivot.
do
in
like
college
it.
football playoffs?
I'm telling you, I think watch this when I think something. This is maybe this be one to watch. I don't know all the details of the crash and everything yet, but bad deal.
I'm afraid to ask you any other questions. Like how they're gonna.
Bring it.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm here.
like,
He is, and we're thankful for it.
if I ask you about the Chiefs' battle at left tackle, you're going to tell me about someone that died 20 years ago or something. I don't know.
It was interesting that Rashee Rice was at the racetrack yesterday.
Probably not the first choice I'd have for someone out at the racetrack.
Hey, maybe he's a
Doing
race
a
fan.
bad- or lean into it.
Yeah,
in,
right.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The Chiefs do lean in.
Yeah. If anybody knows fast cars, it's our next guest. Please welcome Rashee Rice. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it was the right choice.
Of course it was. Kyle Larson.
I don't know how to respond
And
to
Kyle
you.
Larson
I really
was
don't.
Yeah,
went
we're
to,
way
did
over.
you see he went on a tour of the Chiefs facility and everything? And he won.
There, see, that's what happens.
Get that Chiefs
yeah.
rub off
Chiefs
on
are
you.
winners.
Chiefs karma.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after this on Sports Radio 810 WHB.